Hello everybody, and today I've got a scary story for you. Today's scary story. I went skiing in Canada once. It was 2025 during the winter break from school. Now, my friend moved from the UK to Canada, so he asked his parents and he said yeah, and so he invited me and another friend to join him going skiing. That's the context before this story. So we obviously were like, oh yeah, we're taking that up. So his parents got in contact with my parents. Same with my other friend's parents. We'll call friend one. He's the one skiing. Call him Dave. Why not? And the second one, friend two, which got invited. We'll call him Trevor. I'm sorry, I just looked at my GTA. So yeah, we went skiing, it was fun. We got back to the lodge. And it was like about 11 PM. So his mum's like, Alright kiddos, let's go to bed. Because we gotta go exploring tomorrow. She was like an adventurer. We'll call her Sandra. So Sandra said, let's get you all to bed because we're going exploring tomorrow. So we're like, where are we going exploring? She's just like, it's a surprise. So yeah, we go to bed. I'm just like, alright, going exploring tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. My other friends are saying that as well, but they're like passing out because they're tired. I go to sleep and I wake up at 2:45 AM. Not because of a noise, not because it's my natural waking up time. Back then I naturally wake up at around 6 AM. Because I felt watched. That's why I woke up at 2:45 AM. I felt watched. So, the obvious thing to do, look around. Why wouldn't you? So my other friends are sleeping, and as I'm scanning the room, there it was. A shadow figure, standing in the doorway. Perfectly still, like it's been waiting for me to open my eyes. I didn't move. I didn't speak. I just stared. The figure didn't walk away. It was there. I blinked, and it was gone. I stayed awake till sunrise, making sure it didn't come back. Because out of everyone in my friend group, right there, I feel like I was the type to fight then. I was like the type to actually punch someone if they came in. Obviously, if you look at me, you wouldn't probably see that. But yeah, I went out into the living room. Oh, that's what the UK calls it. I don't know what America calls it. So, went out to the living room, or front room, however you want to call it, and Sandra was there. So I told her, did you come check on us when we were asleep at, I don't know, like approximately 2:45 a.m. I said it like that. And she scoffs and is like, no. I was fast asleep till 5. Because she wakes up early. She's one of them people. So then I was just like, oh. And she was like, why? Because there was someone watching us at 2:45 a.m. I was like, boy, I know you're lying. Because I normally joke about that stuff because she's into ghosts and stuff. I wasn't saying it was a ghost at first. But now I look back on it, I think it is. But she's normally into ghosts and ghost stories or horror films. So I normally joke around. But yeah, she didn't believe me. So we went exploring this forest. We saw some deer, some elk. I was kind of surprised of what elk looks like. I saw them on camera, I just never know what they look like in real life. So I tried to enjoy the day. I was just spooked out. But after that, we went back to the lodge and we watched a film. We watched Jurassic World. I actually didn't recommend it, surprisingly. One of my friends did. Trevor did. Now, he recommended it because he was watching the series for the first time. And I was just like, how? Anyway, not to cut off from the story, 7 minutes in. We went to bed after the film, and I woke up at 2:45 again. Now, if you're asking me how I knew the time, I sleep with my phone next to me. I always do. This time, instead of seeing a figure, I just heard footsteps in the hallway, slow and heavy. Like, someone's like slamming their. So it sounded like they were wearing boots. It sounded like instead of walking, like they were stomping around. And this time I shut the door instead of sleeping with the door open. And it was just pacing around out there. And then I noticed Dave was awake. So I whispered to him. So how it's laid out was got me, I'm close to the door, Trevor in the middle, and then Dave on the far side. So I whispered to him. It was kind of like a talk, because I have to be loud enough for him to hear me, but quiet enough so I don't wake Trevor. So I kind of whisper, tell him, did you hear that? Or are you hearing this? And he says this. He doesn't whisper it. So I kind of are you hearing this? And he's like, yes, I'm hearing it. And then he's like, should we wake up Trevor? And then I'm like, no. Because he is the type he's just the type to start picking you apart from everything you do wrong if he doesn't get sleep. But I got the courage to stand up and open the door, and it was And as soon as I opened the door, it was like, it didn't run off. Like, it wouldn't sound like that. It was more of it was directly outside the door, stomping. I opened the door and it completely went dead silent. And the hallway was empty. And the snow by the back door was not snow. The door by the back door was covered, outside was covered in snow. It was like winter in Canada as well. Well, as well. No, I meant to say it was like snowstorms. So it was like snowy, the back door was open, so I freaked out thinking there was someone inside. But, so I just shut the door. There was no footprints outside, which is surprising. So, don't know what that meant. But yeah, yet again, I think I got sleep around like 5 AM, then I woke up at 6 again. So, yeah. Then at night 3, we explored the town down there, down by the, what would it be? I don't know what it's called, but the beginning part of a mountain, there was like a little village. So we went exploring there, and yeah, we went home after that, and it was actually kind of peaceful. We didn't holy voice crack, we didn't watch anything or do anything. I think, yeah, we played Uno. I was at one card, and then someone put down the shuffle deck, or the one where you like swap the deck with someone else, and I lost my deck to him. Oh my god, I was super pissed off. Not at him because it's a game, but I was just like, oh my god, I was so close. But then we went to bed, and then I woke up, not 2:45, around 3 AM. So I was just like, oh, it might be something different then. And as soon as I checked my phone, the knocking started. It was more like that. Not on the door, but on the walls. It was like, hold on. Then pause, and then 3 more. It sounded like someone was inside the walls, moving along them, tapping as they went. I followed the sound from one side of the room to the other, but always stayed just out of reach, like it was leading us somewhere. When the knocking stopped, the room felt colder. Like someone has just left. And I immediately hid under my covers, because I was like, I'm not having any more of it. So I went under my covers. So then, next day, we went to this magnificent lake. It was beautiful. Covered in snow, snowy mountains in the distance. Super beautiful. So, yeah, we went there. I got soaked, so I had to have a double shower. And then we went to bed. And I was awake at 2:45 again. I was just sat up. Nothing was happening though. It was more like silence. And then Dave woke up, woke up screaming his head off. He said someone whispered his name right in his ear. Close enough that he felt the breath on his skin. But when he turned, no one was there. But I was sat up because I was just sat up. I was just on TikTok, watching TikToks, trying to get sleepy again. And he refused to sleep that night. Yeah, so nothing happened to me that night. It happened to Dave. But there's 7 nights, and that's only night 4. So we were running out of things to do. So we went exploring the forest again. And then, so the schedule was those 4 days. And then she said, we'll go skiing tomorrow again. So I was just like, yeah, that's fine. So we go exploring the forest again. And yeah, found a moose. We found a dead rabbit, sad. And I got to hunt for once. We met these hunters, yeah. And we told them about we had nothing else to do on the time over there. So they were like, we got some extra rifles in our truck. Do you want to come hunting with us? And Sandra was just like, yeah, just won't tell their mums. And so we got to shoot. I tried to shoot at a deer. Tried to hit it, but I shot its foot by accident. I was aiming for his body as well. So I shot his foot, and the hunters were like, go put it out of its misery. So I followed the blood trail. Yeah, the blood trail disappeared, and I told the hunters how. So we spent the whole day trying to search for it to put it. If it was okay, like the bleeding just stopped, which would be like holy magical healing, and then yeah, probably would have left it alone, back to the truck and gone. But no, we searched the whole time trying to find it. We couldn't find it. So the hunters were just like, it was like getting dark, so we're just like, yeah, alright. He was like, we'll go try to find it tomorrow, whilst you lot go skiing. Sandra got a new number, or a new friend. And yeah. So I was dreading going to sleep because I always wake up early now. So we went to bed. I woke up. You guessed it, 2:45. And the door was shut. I shut it. But I heard the back door swing open. Clear as day, the back door swung open. Snow was like blowing in. The wind was freezing. My door got I think this one can be playing down to the wind more than a ghost. This one, my door got smashed open. I'm gonna blame the wind for this. And that's how I saw the snow and stuff. Outside there was footprints leading away from the lodge into the forest. Before you say it was probably an animal, it had shoes. It was shoe prints. It was like someone had walked out of the woods, kicked our door in, and just left. Sandra probably said, not probably, Sandra said probably was just the wind or an animal. She looked at the footprints as well. The lock was intact, thankfully, but it was locked. I even made sure it was locked. So yeah, nothing else happened that night, other than that. But we went back to bed. Night 6, we went skiing, happy days, went home, and this one was terrifying. And I woke up at 2:45 a.m. like always, and I checked the doorway empty. I slowly turned to my right, turned my head to my right. 6 foot tall, black, darker than the pitch black shadow figure, and it was horrifying. I froze up. I literally looked up. I froze up, and I held my breath. It felt like the air around me was getting pulled away, and the figure leaned in. And I felt like I was having a heart attack at that point. I felt the cold pressure on my chest, like it was pushing down. Then it whispered. Not words, just a low drawn exhale. And that felt wrong, because it was like whisper level. Normally like an exhale would be like, like that. But just try to imagine like that exhale, exactly that pace. Just more drawn out, but the volume was quiet, like this, into my ears. And when I finally blinked, the figure was gone, but there was an imprint of a hand was left on my blanket. So I was just like, holy fuck. The 7th night was my final night there, and then next day I'll go back to the airport, flown back. That day we went skiing. Then we went to the village, drank some hot chocolate. Then we went to bed. I didn't sleep. My packed bag was by the edge of my bed. Everything was fine at first. And then 2:45 comes around, and the not bad. I think the back door did swing open. I don't know. It either swung open or it didn't. I can't remember. But I do remember the door. My door. It literally opened on its own. I then felt my bedsheet. Bedsheet got pulled up, and then tugged. So I was just like, fuck off. I went straight to Sandra, and I brought a sleeping bag and I slept in their room for the whole night. And nothing went wrong for that night. But I woke up, and there was a handprint on my ankle. I slept in shorts that night, and there was like a huge handprint on my foot, my ankle. Like, it's like the edge of the foot to like the edge of the ankle. So the palm was at the foot, but the fingertips were going up to like the knees or the edge of my ankle. Or not edge, end of my ankle. Then every time I always wonder, has it followed me home? Like and subscribe for more. I got more stories like this. I just never tell people. But yeah, like and subscribe for more. And I'll see you next time.